Good morning, guys. How we all doing? Hope we all had a wonderful week so far. Been quite a slow week to be honest, but yes, still we still had some opportunities that the market presented us with. So if you took advantage of that, congratulations. If not, we go harder next week as we expect more liquidity to return to the market towards the middle of this month. So today we have NFP coming up, and keep an eye out for that by 2:30 GMT. So keep an eye out for that, as that could potentially tell us what we should expect um, towards the end of the week and going into next week. Looking at what has happened so far on Euro USD, not much to be honest. As you can see throughout this week, this was our move from this week to, you can just see we've just been having this crawler move back into this area of demand, and then we have this liquidity resting right here. So the strategy remains the same. So all we're just waiting for at this point is a clear change of character. If we see that change of character, because now we have here as our fractal, we have our fractal high here, right? And then our fractal low here. So it will be a break above this daily open that could signal a reversal, and perhaps maybe one more swipe to the low, and then perhaps Euro USD is ready to push up. But also remember, we still have NFP numbers coming up, and that might be bullish for the dollar, which would indicate that Euro USD will still drop down lower. As you can see, we have all of these lows that we still left behind. We don't have to come back to it, but it's still a possibility. So keep that in mind while we trade for the day. So yeah, so that's that on Euro USD for the moment. As you can see, we have this liquidity that has been grabbed. We still have these open areas of liquidity. Here's a nice area of demand, and yes, so you can see once market came in, it reacted to it and pushed it up, and now we're just coming back into it. So from this area, I'm not quite sure, maybe we would get that push up one more. Again, maybe we want to come down and take out this liquidity or even this low. So you just got to be patient and let market pick its direction. Okay, and moving on to the dollar, and it's quite similar on the dollar. You could just see with the dollar, I'm still expecting, I'm waiting for the numbers, waiting for the NFP numbers to come in. If they come in bullish, so we would expect to see some higher prices. But if not, and then yeah, maybe we get that dump on the dollar that we've been anticipating. But at the end of the day, it's let's wait for those employment numbers, those unemployment numbers. Then that would tell us which direction market wants to head towards the end of the day and towards the new week. Okay, and moving on to gold has been quite beautiful to see, honestly. So if you remember, we spoke about this area of the this liquidity level, and then we said, okay, once market came into that liquidity, we just, from there we expect that push up, which we saw about maybe how many pips from there, say above 500 pips from this liquidity point. So, and also right here now we have this liquidity zone, we have here liquidity resting also. So the strategy remains the same, guys. You just want that liquidity grab. Once you have that liquidity grab, you wait for that change of character, and then you go in a change of character on the lower time frame. Because if we look at gold on, for say, the 15 minutes, you would see it clearly, right? So here we have that area of demand, liquidity resting above, right? And then market just came into it, into that area of demand level, right? And then from there we had that change of character right here, and then the retracement, and since then you could have just looked for a buy. And let's see how many pips you could have been up, above 600 pips almost. So if you took advantage of this position, congratulations to you. That's quite a beautiful position to take. Moving on. Moving on to silver. Silver has also been moving quite beautifully. I quite like the price action on silver. It is so beautiful to see. You can see this liquidity resting above this demand level. We've grabbed that liquidity, and now what do we have? We have that change of character, and now we have our new demand level being formed right here. Our market came right into that demand level, and now we're pushing up. So it is just quite beautiful. Easy to say, just look for longs on this. How are we going to look for it? If you're not in this trade yet, you want to wait for a swipe of these lows on the lower time frame, a swipe of these lows on the lower time frame, as now we're on the 15 minutes, so keep that in mind, guys. So a swipe of these lows right somewhere around here, and then maybe from there, if market gives us that entry, then we take it. But you can just see it is pushing up, and I expect higher prices on this, at least till the end of the day. Until next week, let's see what happens. Okay, so we're still expecting higher prices. AUD USD, guys, you can see we're making that retracement. No bullish sign yet, so I hope you guys didn't hop into a buy prematurely. You can see now we're approaching this strong area that could act as an area of support for the market, and then we start pushing up from there. So let's keep an eye out for that. Maybe we get some bullish momentum come into the market from this area, as we're in an area of demand, which is also quite nice, because why we had liquidity resting above it, which has been grabbed, and now we're just pushing down lower. So from this strong area, this monthly, 3 monthly and yearly open, we could have a reversal. So let's keep an eye out for that, as this is looking like a strong area for a reversal. Okay, and to keep on pushing higher, as we have all of this area to target. Okay, and next we have GU. On GU, guys, you can see I'm more inclined towards looking for short because of the pound, and because this pair is also quite bearish, as our swing high and our swing low. And now we've come here, we've grabbed this liquidity at the extreme, and now we've started to push down. So for me, I would wait for a break of this low to show that, okay, now we have supply chain in control, and then from here I could start looking for those short positions, which would just be something that will hedge against our long AU or EU positions. Okay, and similar story with NU. I'm still expecting lower prices. I'm still expecting lower prices on this. We have this liquidity open. I would like for us to connect with this area of demand, and then maybe from there we see that change of character, and we start seeing those bullish momentum come back into the market, as I'm still very bullish on the New Zealand dollar, right? With USD JPY, guys, we're talking about this yesterday. I was saying, okay, I was waiting for maybe these lows to be grabbed, but apparently it doesn't want to do that, because now we started to push up. But guys, don't look for buys right now, like at this area, because in my humble opinion, it is poorly priced, as I'm still looking for those lower prices. So maybe we grab this liquidity and then we retrace downward, or we even start pushing up from there. But the only time I would be interested in those longs is maybe after we've grabbed this low, or we break this high, and then after that liquidity, grab that retracement, and then we can look for those further longs. But right now, in my opinion, I would just stay out and watch it until next week. And with US30, guys, I mean, what can I say? We grab this liquidity, connected with this area of demand, boom, a change of character. And if you go on the lower time frame, you could just see it is beautiful to see when what you say just plays out the way you want it to. And I mean, what can I say? What more can I say? If you took advantage of this, congratulations. That's beautiful. You can see right here, and now we have here now as our sell before this buy up. So you could wait for here, but also you could wait for a market to return here, and then maybe we look for those further long positions to take it to a new all-time high. But as always, I'm still looking for those buys. That's all I'm interested in on US 30 at the moment. Moving on to you, oil saw some bullish momentum that we spoke about this yesterday. We said, okay, if it comes here, I might be interested in looking for those sells. But one thing you also notice is this area of resistance, right? We have resistance right here. Market came into once, twice, third time, and now we're coming back the fourth time. And with every time that we come back into it, you can see bears have stepped in. Bears have stepped in. Every time we've come back into it, bears have stepped in. So let's see what wants to happen, because right now it's just seeming like a fight between demand level right here and supply level right here, and you don't want to be trading in between those, in between both levels when they're still fighting for control. You want to be trading when the control has been established. So I'm staying out of this for now. I would wait till next week to see what wants to happen on this, and then from there we could discuss the game plan for oil. USD as beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. We're seeking higher prices on this. I want higher prices. I still want some higher prices from here. Yes, we could start to sell, because okay, now we've grabbed this liquidity, and if we see that change of character, and then from there maybe a break below this candle low, and then we could start to look for those short positions back into the lows. Or if not, then we could just keep on going higher, grab this liquidity, as we still have descending highs here. So you want to wait for that change of character. That is the confirmation for the trade entry. Okay, and with USD CAD, guys, as you can see, we broke the supply level, and now we're just consolidating at the moment. So I would like a retracement maybe into this liquidity low, or maybe even here, as this is our demand level also. So from there we could start to look for those longs again, but I would like some retracement, and then we look for the longs, as we still have room right here. Look at this descending highs. Okay, so guys, that is it for today. Oh, Euro JPY. Guys, I mean, what can I say, guys? You can see this is the breakout, right? We've broken out of this. We grabbed liquidity. Look at this liquidity grab, breakout, and now you want to be looking for those longs, right? That's what you want to be looking for right now. You want to be looking for those longs. Any retracement, you look for further longs, and then put your stop beneath here. Or if you like to be conservative, you could put your stop beneath here, right? And then you target a new higher high. Okay, guys, thank you for your time. I wish you a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Back test, practice, study. See you on Monday morning.